On the Utectic Sports Network, I'm Assistant Sports Information Director Greg Tadish. Our At the Half segment for a home Thursday matchup with Hannibal LaGrange. Freshman Karsyn Morgan, thanks for sitting in. I appreciate it. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Excited to talk to you because there was so much talk about the veterans on this group at the beginning of the season. And as the season started going along, you sort of became one of the first ones off the bench and kind of got into the rotations. I'll start with this. Your high school days back in Arkansas, you're actually a pretty good lethal shooter. I did some research. You hit 6 threes in a game a number of times. Have you felt like you've been able to kind of showcase what you're capable of yet this year?
A little bit, not as much as I did in high school, but I think I'm getting there.
How much has to do with the amount of playing time you're able to get? Because there's only one game this year that you've actually taken 6 threes in any particular game.
Mm-hmm.
And then some games you're getting a little more playing time. The other night against Stevens, you only got 2 minutes. Does that have a big deal with kind of the flow of things in the field for you?
A little bit, but most of the time, no matter the playing time, I just try to do what I can to help the team. And if it's taking shots or playing defense, just whatever coach needs me to do.
Here's the thing about being a freshman. Do you understand that this might not be kind of your big moment and your time to kind of shine and show what you can do, and your role might be other things on the team?
Yes, sir. I've begun to understand that as the season goes on.
Quite a bit of conversation at the beginning of the season. I think it was Mackenzie Sheridan that talked about when you come here, a lot of freshmen and incoming students might not understand the scholastic load versus the basketball load. How long did that take you to kind of figure out?
Well, I'm still figuring it out right now. But first semester, I kind of was like, yeah, I need to study a lot more than I did in high school. And I'm still working on that right now, like developing new study habits and stuff.
How fun has this year been for you on the basketball floor?
It's been pretty fun. Basketball is really enjoyable here. I like how we just get to have fun and take stress away from classes and all that.
Coach Reese talks about that he tries to make the basketball environment not be as hardcore is the wrong word, but maybe not as just all intense as maybe your high school was. I have no idea what your high school environment was for basketball. Do you like the fact that it's kind of laid back and a little more chill and it's not as the full-on focus of maybe what some other basketball venues might be?
Yeah, I like how it's laid back, but then it's also a time where we know we need to get serious and it's not as chill, but
it's interesting. You're sitting right now as you got 3 games left in the regular season. Hannibal LaGrange here at the half. Huge one coming up on Saturday with Mobap, and then a big one coming up hopefully next Thursday against Columbia. This always doesn't happen at this kind of school. Have you gotten an interesting, and being a rookie, I would think it's interesting because some of the other girls that have been through this rigors before, like Mackenzie Sheridan and Elizabeth and Grace, they came from days where they weren't winning a whole lot. Do you understand that this isn't really how this always used to work?
Yeah, I've heard that they've had losing seasons and they never made it this far. So this is big that they're actually getting this far this year, and I'm just glad I can be a part of it.
Coming from Sylvian Hills High School, why'd you pick this school to come to?
I picked this school because I was really interested in pharmacy, and I wanted to play basketball as well. And when I came on my visit, everything here was just nice, and everybody seemed so welcoming, and I thought it would be a good fit for me.
What other schools were you interested in? Or were you looking at even?
I was looking at other pharmacy schools just out of state. I wasn't really looking in state as much, but this seemed a good fit. So.
Basketball-wise, in some of these games you've gotten in, I asked Mackenzie kind of what your role was on that team, and I know when Samantha Casting was hurt with her eye injury, you were a big part of that. There's also a part that Coach talks a lot about. He wants the bench environment to be something. Do you like that part of it? Because a lot of times when people aren't in the game, they might think, well, I'm just sitting here doing nothing. But that's important to him. Have you kind of embraced that?
When I first got here, I didn't really as much embrace the whole bench celebration thing. But as it's gone on, and we even watched bench clips of UConn women's basketball. And so we've just started to interact more with the game and the bench. And I think it's helped a lot.
What have you learned from those videos?
Well, we watched Paige when she was hurt. She was doing celebrations on the bench. And so Coach Joe and Coach Reese just want us to be more like that.
Is the college basketball environment what you expected? I mean, I don't know what your expectations were coming out of high school, but is this what you thought it would be?
A little bit. I actually thought it was going to be more strict and more hardcore, but it's nice.
So the matchup against Stevens, how much pressure have you guys felt here down the stretch? I know they had beaten you in the regular season here. You go to their place back on Tuesday. I really wasn't sure how that game was going to go. I know the first half was a little rough. Have you guys felt pressure since there's something sort of on the line every night, you didn't play real well at Lyon. You know, you've gone through some of these games that you seem to be better than these teams, but you've kind of let them hang around a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you felt pressure in these
I
games?
feel like it's more and more pressure each game because it's so much like on the line for us. Like we need to win out so we can be conference, top of the conference and host the conference tournament.
How much do you learn from a player like Grace Byer?
A lot. Grace is really good on and off the court.
Anything specific jump to your mind about what you're able to learn from maybe not just her individually, but some of the veteran players?
Okay, so I've learned that they like previous seasons they weren't able to do what they're doing now, and I like how they progressed over the years and they never just like gave up and they just keep working hard.
So, any idea what your college career might look like 2 or 3 years from now? I mean, I don't know if you expect this kind of success to continue. Is basketball something you expect to do for 4 years while you're here?
Yes, sir. I hope we keep the success going and just keep on winning.
Karsyn Morgan, our guest in the At the Half segment. Appreciate you sitting in. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back with the College Cast crew at the first half stats. In the second half with Hannibal LaGrange coming up in a bit.